Tell me about Apple stock.
Shares of Apple fell just a bit today, closing at $177.38.
Where's the S&P 500?
S&P 500 was on the decline today, finishing at 2,783.02.
Where's Netflix stock at?
Netflix closed at $349.19 today.
Well, that's enough bad news for me. What's going on, guys? It's your boy James D. Anderson at I Am JD Anderson. Hey, listen, if this is your first time here on one of my videos, considering sticking around because I make videos about personal finance, business, money, capitalism, taxes, credit, all those things, so you guys can absolutely be great with your money. So hang out with us if you want to get more information about that. Let's jump right into the topic, and we're talking about emergency funds. And this is a very simple subject, but yet I get a lot of questions about it. So I figured we'd just cut a video and kind of talk about it. So emergency fund, what is it? What is it there for? Well, obviously, if you listen to the title, it's an emergency fund. It's a small fund that you got set aside for emergencies for yourself. So disclaimer number one is that an emergency fund is not a credit card. I know a lot of people say, well, I got a credit card for emergencies. Listen, we are done with that. That's old news. That's old ways of thinking, and that just does not apply. So the two types of emergency funds that you absolutely have out there is what we call a beginner's emergency fund, or a starter's emergency fund, and then what you have called a full emergency fund. Now, you might hear different things out there that people might say you need, $1,000, $2,000, $2,500, $1,500, $500, whatever the case might be. You want to focus on something that if your quality of life could be impacted, can you recover from that? Let's say, for instance, you're driving down the street, just minding your business on a nice summer's day, right? And then you go to make a left turn from the left turn lane, and you got the right of way, you got the green arrow, and then bam, something comes in and smacks your car and total it. What the beginner's emergency fund will cover, and what I suggest, is enough that could probably pay your deductible on your car, probably get you through if you got to rent a car, and probably keep you going until you get back on your feet. So what I personally suggest is a person has at least an emergency fund between $3,000 if you're kind of just a single person working, and if you got kids, we're going to up that baby to $5,000. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and I can hear a lot of people going off right now because, as we know, 70% of people don't have $1,000. Half of Americans that's working don't have $400 or more set aside for emergencies. So I get it, it's going to be a stretch. A lot of people will say, well, James, $5,000, man, that is a lot of money. Listen, I get it. I know it's a lot. However, think about it like this. If you had that vehicle and you have kids and that vehicle was totaled, $5,000 cash can go out and get you another vehicle the next day if you had that on hand. Now, yes, you're going to deplete that emergency fund, but you are good rolling. You can go out there, you can still build your business, you can go to work, you can take care of your kids, you can do everything that it is that you need to do. But one thing I want you guys to be aware of, that's just the starter emergency fund. So again, to recap, beginner's emergency fund is going to be between $3,000 to $5,000. Next up is what we call a full emergency fund. Now, the full emergency fund should be anywhere, I say 6 months. That's been pretty good practice for individuals that I know that have one. 6 months of living expenses. So that's your food, your shelter, that is your major payments like on your car notes, things like that. And I also like to stretch it out a little bit to include a little bit of entertainment in there. So if you happen to take the kids out for a night out to the movies, maybe one time a month, twice a month, you should budget that in there to your household expenses. I personally would like you guys to get to whatever you spend realistically, whatever you spend realistically in a monthly basis, just multiply that by 6. So if you spend $4,000 in your lifestyle and you multiply that by 6, you're going to have $24,000 set aside. If you spend $10,000 in your lifestyle on a monthly basis and you multiply that by 6, you need $60,000. So it's based upon what it is that you have set up in your life, what you have going on, what's your bills, what's your obligations, what's your expenses, what does your business take to run it? All those things go into the fact of going into your emergency fund. Too many times I see people have too little in an emergency fund and they think they actually have it funded. And what ends up happening is that an emergency happens, that job lays you off, the business slows down, something catastrophic happens like weather, we've seen all these crazy things with wildfires on the West Coast, hurricanes, houses being flooded. All these things happen and you do not have enough money to carry you over. So with that being said, that full emergency fund is going to be 6 months of your living expenses. So think about it like this. Beginner's emergency fund, $3,000 if you're single, $5,000 if you have kids, and then that full emergency fund should be 6 months of your living expenses. Okay, James, well, what do I do? Where do I put it at? Where do I set my emergency fund? So here's the thing. You're not going to have that emergency fund in a regular savings account, and you're definitely not going to have your checking account linked to that. Your emergency fund has to be separate from your normal checking account, not linked to anything, not linked to the debit card, no overdraft protection. I don't even want you to have a debit card to it, okay? Your emergency fund should be separate from your normal money. Now, here's what you can do, and something that we suggest with the people that we work with. Number one is that we actually have individuals take their emergency fund and open up what's called a tax-free municipal bond fund. Oh, my water's ready for my tea. Give me a couple seconds, I'll be right back. Whew, I like my tea piping hot, my man. That was 2 piping right there. Back to what we were talking about. So what we suggest people is to set up what's called a municipal bond fund, or a tax-free municipal bond fund, or a money market account. Something that's fairly liquid, but you don't have access to it like to swipe a card through theirs. So the municipal bond fund and the money market funds that people put their money in, like I say, they don't get really a big percentage rate of return. They might get a couple points, but it just helps you outrun inflation. So typically the process will work like this. We work with somebody, they don't really have an emergency fund. We figure out how to get their cash flow up to build up their emergency fund. And in the beginning, they just got it kind of in a regular savings account, but separate. They're building up to that $3,000 to $5,000. Then they take that $3,000 to $5,000 and they go to a wholesale investment account, and they basically go and deposit that money there. They go through, fix their expenses, they do what they need to do, they get to a point to where they got cash on hand, and then at the end of the day they start dropping in that money to that actual full emergency fund. Now you're putting money into an investment account, you got it locked away somewhere safe where you can't touch it. You're going to see a little bit of growth on there, but you build it up till you get to your 6 months, and then boom, you're done. Right? Think about it like this. If you had 6 months of your expenses set aside right now, no matter what it is that you spent, if you had 6 months of your daily expenses set aside right now, that's like the equivalent of you having to actually go stop work for 6 months, and guess what? You can still take care of your lifestyle. So that's a big portion, and I wanted to break it down. And really, kind of emergency fund, if you read any finance books and any financial strategies, you'll know that is the first step that you need to do. And that's probably why I get so many questions on it. And I apologize, because I probably make it seem as though it's simple than what it is. But really, ladies and gentlemen, I want everybody to understand what they need to do here with as far as being great with their money. So I just wanted to come to you with a short video. Like I said, I'm in the home office, got to get back to work, got to do what I got to do. But hey guys, if you guys got any questions, feel free to comment where this video at. You can comment down below. You can send me a DM. You know, my name is James D. Anderson, Mr. Be Great With Your Money, at I am JD Anderson on all social medias. Drop this video a like, of course. If it sucked, you can drop a thumbs down. Hey, listen, guys, we're all love here. So what I want you guys to do, subscribe if you want to hang around. Let me know if you're kind of feeling these quick, short videos, these quick topics, and I'll be sure to keep bringing them to you. So that's it for your boy, James D. Anderson. Listen, guys, I will holler at you next time. Everybody keep crushing it and be great with your money. Peace. Hey, what's the proper temperature to have tea?
I can't get the answer to that on HomePod.
How do you make tea?
I can't get the answer to that on HomePod.
When should I pour my tea in a cup?
I can't get the answer to that on HomePod.
Can you order me tea from Amazon?
Sorry, I can't search the web here.
What is tea made out of?
I found 2 on Wikipedia: warm water and tea leaves.
Well, yeah, you're just dumb.
I don't have the answer to that. Is there something else I can help you with?